Hello guys and welcome to Motorbeam. Today we are riding the Classic 650 and the pricing have been announced starting at 3,37,000 for the Vallum Red and the Bunting Blue. The teal comes in a little bit costlier at 3,41,000 and the costliest over here is at 3,50,000, the black chrome standing right next to me, and I'll show you guys in my review because I'll be riding the black chrome for the whole day. What do you guys think of the colors? Let me know in the comments below, because when the pricing starts at 3,37,000, the on-road goes up to 4.2 and the top end model will go up to 4,20,000 rupees on road for the Classic 650. It is actually cheaper than the Shotgun 650, but then again, what do you think of this? Let me know in the comments and let's get to riding right away. Now that we know about the pricing of all the models, this is the top end one, the chrome color that we can say chrome black, जो भी आपको कहना आप कह सकते हो. If you look at it, it will look like the Classic, and if you come close, you will notice that the new headlight has come into place, and this illumination of this headlight is not the best. This has been the same unit that has been used in all the other Royal Enfield motorcycles right now. This is how it functions, and I don't really like the illumination at all. However, you do get LED pirate lamps over here which has the same design, the face of the Classic which has been there. This one you get halogen indicators, and इसको तो LED डाल देते यार, कितना फ़र्क पड़ता. But then again, it is having the Classic form. For the continuous Classic form, you have this cover for the 43mm forks right over here. The mudguard is a metal unit. Plus, you get 320mm disc with dual channel ABS and a 19-inch wheel up front with 100 section rubber. Now, this is coming from MRF, and the same is the case for the rear tire as well. If you come close, you can notice that this one is a 14.7 liter fuel tank, and you can expect a mileage of close to 20 to 25 kilometers per liter. In today's ride, we are getting close to 22 because we were pushing through, and I'll tell you more when I start riding. This is a single piece seat right over here. Seat height is at 800mm. Cushioning is decent enough, but after a certain point in time, you might feel a little bit butthurt. Over here, people are not liking the fender. Yes, I don't like this design के ये empty लग रहा है. यहाँ पे gap भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. But then again, don't think that this is going to be standard. When you buy this motorcycle, they will sell you with the second seat as standard. मतलब second seat आपको आने वाली है. Homologation में वो seat आएगी. It is very easy to remove. यहाँ पे 2 screws खोले, यहाँ से जो structure निकाला, and then you can take the seat off. I'll show the other seat का motorcycle as well. This is what the pillion seat looks like, and the structure fits in right one, and that goes inside. So this can be removed completely. And you know, that is what it looks without the pillion seat. Dual shocks at the back, dual barrels coming behind, and an LED tail light with a ring over here. But then again, halogen indicators again. Now these are not flexible indicators. और गिरी तो chance है कि अगर इस पे load आया तो ये टूट सकता है. I'll sit on the motorcycle and I'll show you the ergonomic triangle right away. 800mm की seat height है यहाँ पे, and with my height which is 5 feet 6 inches, and I've got kind of long legs, I can almost flat foot. So you can feel the weight of this motorcycle, which is close to 243 kgs. This is a riding triangle, and it feels very, very commanding. The riding structure is quite nice, and the handlebar is a little tapered in. So overall feel feedback काफ़ी decent है. Round mirrors give you a decent view of what's behind, but then again, things could have been a little bit different, a little bit more modern. But then again, there's better motorcycles, Super Meteor भी है, Bear भी है, to do all of that. This is going to be true classics with the 650cc motor. Come, true classics जब मैं कह रहा हूँ, you can get the same classic wala meter right over here. You get the basic speedometer, here you get the trip meter, and here is the tripper meter, which is standard across all the variants. And then again, once I press the I button from here, you can notice the difference coming in from the meter, and only the odo and the rest of the details change. Baki kuch change nahi hota. You get a tiny fuel gauge too, and that's about it. If you look at the switchgear has been the same rounded switchgear with chrome finish, which is seen on most of the motorcycle. This is the pass light, high beam indicators. Let's hear the horn, and this is the most funniest horn I've heard on a Royal Enfield. I'm used to hearing louder horns, actually more bassier horns, but this is a little bit weird. You get a decent set of levers over here, and both the levers are adjustable. If you notice, you can use this function to adjust the levers the way you like it, and it becomes a little bit more closer. On the starter button side too, it is the same unit, and you get hazard light button as well. So this is the starter. This is how the motorcycle sounds, and this is the hazard light button, which functions decently well. You know what, let's get to riding right away, and I'll tell you more about it. And we are out riding the Classic 650. To be honest, it does feel heavy. 243 kgs, yes, you can feel the weight, but not too much. The handlebar is set in such an angle that It rides very comfortably. You get decent amount of feedback coming from the chassis, and the chassis is the same one as being shared. The design, the architecture is being shared with the Super Meteor and the Shotgun. So there's a lot of closeness to it. Plus, the ride is decent. The suspension feedback from the front is decent, but rear has a little bit of a bounce back effect because of not too much travel. It's just 90 mm. However, the front takes in bumps quite nicely. Now, riding through Ghats over here, the tires are supporting really well. 19-inch front tire and an 18-inch rear. Things are going on quite comfortably. You will actually like the handlebar feedback because downshift, put a corner, and if you feel like overtaking, you can go ahead and do that too and lean into it. I'm surprised by the nimbleness of this motorcycle, even though you can feel the weight. When I say we can feel the weight, there's a little bit of handlebar heaviness that's there, but the motorcycle is willing to hold the line really well too. And taking on speed breakers like this, I will show you once again. There's a decent amount of jerk, but not too much. The motor pulls decently well, but it is not as quick as it is on the Interceptor and the GT650. It feels a little bit relaxed, and decent amount of the parallel twin rumble feel comes throughout the motorcycle. So I'm not sure what RPM we are at because you don't get the RPM meter, but you can still feel the vibrations a little bit when you start pushing. Now the braking feedback on this motorcycle is decent enough, but you can expect a little bit of delay compared to that you get on the other 650s because it carries that weight. However, the feedback is decent. Like, you'll have to hold on to front and rear both quite nicely. The rear starts bouncing because of the ABS kicking in. The full weight transfer happens to the front. You can come to a stop in a decent amount of distance, but little bit more grippy in terms of tires for braking feedback because yeah, it does that bouncy. Slows down nicely. It is stable. The straight line stability is like kick-ass. You get a 320 mm front and a 300 mm rear. So braking duties are supported by Vibra brakes, but you get Royal Enfield logos on top of it. Downshifting and then braking actually slows down the bike better, and then the engine braking is actually quite good. The 6-speed gearbox is actually slick shifting, and for me the clutchless upshifts are working out quite nicely too. So the gearbox feels good. Now going through probably the worst set of roads, not really the worst set, but a little bit of bad roads. It's okay, suspension is taking it, but any badder or any worse roads, it will give a hit back effect. So yeah, could have had a little more suspension travel. And if you're looking for such, थोड़ा रुक जाओ, थोड़ा सा और रुक जाओ. Himalayan 750 आने वाला है, the biggest in its category, probably for the best of its price. So yeah, hairpin bends being taken in quite nicely. Not too bad. Now riding this one through the slowest of speeds, maybe through traffic, you can definitely notice one thing, that it is easy to ride. Does not really bother until unless you are on a hairpin or going up and down. That is when you need to consider yourself to be a little bit safer, because that is when the weight transfer happens quite a lot. But in traffic situations, maybe cruising at say 40 kilometers per hour on the third gear, or maybe on the fourth gear like this, it rides very smoothly. The engine is so tractable. This is a gem of an engine by Royal Enfield, yeah. And now this motorcycle is also a gem of a motorcycle because it is a very tightly packed motorcycle. Yes, it is on the heavier side. Yes, it does not have that much of a ground clearance. All the speed breakers we are clearing without having any problems at all, not even a single scratch. There have been instances where we have been cornering a little too tighter and the foot pegs have been scraping. So once or twice it has happened for me, and a lot for the other guys too. So handling, superb. Weight, yes, that's there. Design and all, you guys think of it. How do you like it? Classic color feel hai. It feels, looks just like the Classic, just a bigger version of it. It is a nice motorcycle, yeah. Few things could have been better, few things could have. The suspension is something I don't like. dynamically very nice, not the best in terms of comfort.